Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Kova here. Welcome back to some more transfer news. I say it's been less frequent than usual, but again, it should begin to pick up as we get closer to the new year. But currently, it's about every week, maybe every 4 or 5 days. It's around about that period of time. It depends how many transfer rumors there is. But if you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe for transfer gossip, PES gameplay, and squad builds and stuff like that for PES, and also FIFA when it comes out. And we're going to kick this off anyway with a bit of Fraser Forster. Obviously, he's currently at Southampton. However, the link between obviously the manager and the previous club, that is Koeman and Southampton, is going strong, with Everton plotting a £15 million bid for the really big goalkeeper who currently is at Southampton, as we mentioned before. Obviously, Koeman will know him and also will be a big fan. Next up is Hector Bellerin. He is getting linked to a move to both Manchester City and Barcelona. They are both ready to make bids for him. Obviously, Barcelona, they haven't really solved their lack of Dani Alves problem that they've currently got going on. And Manchester City, likewise, they don't really have a right-back. I think Bellerin is probably one of the world's best right-backs at the moment for me. He's got everything, all the attributes. He could be potentially fantastic. And obviously, both Barcelona and Manchester City see it that way as well. Next up is Phil Jones. Manchester United are ready to cut their losses on Phil Jones and basically say, they're ready to let him go. Mourinho's ready to sell him. And both Arsenal and Liverpool are interested. Apparently, they still see him as being potentially a really good centre-back. However, I think he's prone to mistakes, which is the issue for both of those clubs. I think Arsenal are more desperate for a centre-back. Next up is Jimenez. This is obviously the young Uruguayan who's playing for Atletico Madrid. Partners go Dean over there. However, Manchester United are keeping tabs on him. They've apparently sent a scout to scout at Atletico Madrid for their centre-back. You could be watching both Godin and Jimenez, but Jimenez is more of the likely option because he's a long-term option. I think Godin's 30 now, so it's an interesting one. I think he'd cost a hell of a lot if they were to get that deal done. Next up is Alan Judge. He's a player that most people won't know. He's currently playing for Brentford, and Newcastle United are really interested in him. They're ready to make a £10 million bid, which is a huge amount of money for a player who's a championship standard player for me, basically. I think he's a good player, but I think he's more championship standard. And yeah, Newcastle are ready to go in for him. He's more of a creative spark, and I think that's what Newcastle really wants, a player to play in that cam position. Next up is Dahoud, constantly getting linked with Liverpool. Again, it has started up as a brand new rumour all over again. We mentioned it so many times, building up to the summer transfer window. Liverpool will be plotting a £25 million January bid, as they are keeping tabs on him. Currently, apparently, the scout has been at Mönchengladbach's few games that they've had, and they are looking at Dahoud. Next up is Isco. Manchester United are ready to make a move. They see him as more of a target than James Rodriguez, as James Rodriguez is playing games now. Isco is not. And Manchester United are looking at him. And I say Isco isn't playing games. He's obviously still playing games, but he isn't seen as a main player anymore. Next up is Sanchez. This is the big one. Manchester City are readying a move for Alexis Sanchez. They are plotting that move as we speak. They're seeing him as a player to play off Aguero. Can you imagine that strike force? Sanchez in behind Aguero, that would be insane. That would be GG Premier League, all done. If they could get the deal done, that would be insane. I just can't see them being able to get it done. Arsenal are notorious for not really letting players go too cheaply. Obviously, Manchester City have a history of buying players from Arsenal. It's just a case of what the fee would be. The fee would surely be insane. There is James Rodriguez. He is featuring because Real Madrid have said he won't be leaving at all, which kind of links into the Isco thing before. Real Madrid saying, yeah, James Rodriguez will be staying, but no mention of Isco. Antoine Griezmann is the latest target for Arsenal. There is a queue of clubs queuing up for Griezmann. They are literally all lining for him. Arsenal, the latest club, joining the fight for him. Obviously, we've previously had Manchester United being linked, Man City. It's Arsenal. I think Chelsea are also interested. There's a huge amount of clubs. I'm sure other clubs such as Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, even Barcelona could have had a little interest in him. I don't think there's any other clubs that have got a big enough wage bill. Possibly PSG as well may be going for Antoine Griezmann. But there is surely going to be a potential world record bid in the lineup for me. Next up is this guy called Defrel. He's currently a player for Sassuolo in the Serie A. Don't know much about him, however, Liverpool are interested. They seem to know a lot. They've sent scouts to watch him in their 3-0 win against Genoa to see how he is. Next up is Ben Davies. He's come out as a surprise target for Chelsea. They kind of like the fact that he is quite attacking, however, he does have that defensive ability. He is currently a backup at Tottenham, so it may be potentially a good sale and for a rumoured £20 million bid. Although Chelsea did just sign Marcos Alonso, so we don't know how much that would truth in this. Heung-min Son is a player Tottenham are ready to allow to leave, which is surprising because he's been in really good form recently. However, Hamburg and Wolfsburg are both ready to make a move. Wolfsburg seem more of the ideal target because they have just sold Andreas Schürrle and they kind of need a replacement for him still. Traore is a target for West Brom. They are interested in him. They are currently scouting their Ivorian after he had a successful spell on loan with CSKA Moscow. Carlos Bacca is the target for Chelsea. They're ready to offer Fabregas as like a part exchange deal. Don't know, however, that would be Fabregas plus cash or just like a straight swap. I don't know. It's we mentioned previously that AC Milan are interested in Fabregas, so that is a deal that could potentially happen. And we end on this guy. This is called Brom. He's a young winger currently playing his trade at Galatasaray. He's a really tricky, pacey winger, and both Arsenal and Chelsea are interested in the Galatasaray player. So that is what this team would look like. If I could get it to come up. There we go. That's what our team would look like. Obviously, there's a few really surprising ones. And, if you're looking at like Sanchez to Man City, Defrel to potentially Liverpool. And there's a few obviously suspect ones that we've always seen before. Dahoud potentially to the Premier League. Isco, we've seen a lot of rumours last season. But guys, if you did enjoy it, let's try and get 10 likes in this video. And I shall see you in the next video.